So the old apartheid South Africa also collapsed, and 1994, on April 27th, I was in South Africa.
The time for the healing of the wounds has come. The moment to bridge the chasms that divide us has come.
The first all-race relations were taking place, which would produce the new South Africa with Nelson Mandela, the iconic Nelson Mandela, as its head. Nelson Mandela had waged a long struggle, having served 27 years in the Robben Island jail of Cape Town, and his party, the African National Party, National Congress, was not an ordinary party. It was a party primarily of black Africans, but it was not a party which espoused hatred for the white man.
The time to build is upon us. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination.
Over 2 centuries, Europeans had established themselves and taken charge of South Africa. So South Africa was like a European country in Africa, surrounded by poor black people. And the whole thing suddenly changed because there had been a movement against apartheid. Apartheid means separate way of life for the blacks and for the whites.
Whites only notices seem more sinister than ever. In the coloured areas, only the children are unaware of the powder barrel atmosphere.
Gandhiji himself, he practiced his whole political craft and the evolution of his political theory and belief system while fighting apartheid in South Africa. Gandhi was in South Africa for over 2 decades before he came to India in the latter half of the first decade of the last century, around this time 100 years ago. So India and South Africa therefore had a very, very close, special relationship. I want to stress special relationship. But in India, I report from South Africa, from the ground, I reported Mr. Mandela coming in on April 27th was the election. Mandela's inauguration as president was on May the 10th, if I remember right, 1994, in Pretoria, where leaders of the world had gathered, and then the opening of the new parliament, all-race parliament in Cape Town. So I was very fortunate to be the only one from among the daily newspapers of India to have reported these things at that time, firsthand. And there, the Indians were already feeling the heat. They had thought we'll get a special relationship. They were not clear what it meant, whether that would translate into special economic place for India in the new scheme of things by the new black rulers of Africa, if you like. And the Africans understood this. The South Africans understood this. Mr. Mandela understood this. India was the first country he visited.